Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to study about another very important topic, that is periodontitis. Now this is a very common gum disease, or you can say an oral disease, which is very commonly seen in patients these days. So having a brief or a general idea about it is very important. Moving ahead, what is periodontitis? In periodontitis, the major thing you're going to see is a periodontal pocket. Now what is this pocket? This pocket is actually nothing but pathologically deepened gingival sulcus. Now if you see in this particular diagram, here the gingiva is very firmly attached to the tooth structure. This is your tooth wall and this is your gingiva. And you see there is no gap between gingiva or the tooth structure. They are connected to each other so nicely. But here on the other side, on the diseased tooth side, you can see that there is a huge gap, or I can say a huge pocket in between of the tooth structure as well as the gingiva. Now this periodontal pocket is not seen in a healthy condition, but when you see this pocket or when the gap appears between the gingiva and the tooth, that is said to be your periodontal pocket, and that condition is said to be a periodontitis. Moving ahead in the diagram, you can see that the first thing you need to keep in mind is probe. I hope you know probe is an instrument which we use to measure any pocket. If you do not have a probe, you can never measure a pocket and you can never confirm that whether it is periodontitis or not. So what we are doing here is, we are inserting very nicely and very firmly, we are inserting a probe here inside the gingival sulcus. And you see the gingival sulcus, the probe penetration through the sulcus is just 3 mm. There are marking here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here in this particular case, in the healthy case, only 3 mm penetration is there, which means that there is no pocket in this case, because pocket is when the depth of or the penetration of the probe is more than 3 mm. When it is more than 3 mm, for example 4 mm, 5 mm, in that condition you can say it is a pocket. But now when it is 3 mm, we will say it is not a pocket, it is a healthy condition. On the other side, when you see on a disease side, you see now when the probe is getting penetrated, it is penetrating so deep. Here the penetration depth is about 5 mm. So this can be said as a periodontal pocket. Moving to the etiology of periodontitis. Very important, why does periodontitis occur? Now the first thing you have to keep in your mind is bacterial action. Okay, bacterial action is one thing. Another thing, because of this bacteria, we also have studied in dental caries that because of bacteria there is plaque formation, or I can say there is calculus formation which is seen. And this calculus formation or plaque formation leads to bacterial activity. And that is another very important cause of periodontitis. Now what exactly happens in a periodontitis is that either the coronal movement of the gingival margin can occur. What happens in this is the gingival margin. The gingival margin. This gingival margin will start moving towards the crown region. You can see the height here. The gingiva has started to move towards the crown. On the other hand, what another situation we can see is the gingival attachment is moving apically. Now gingival attachment is like, if I show you in this figure, you see this attachment here, the attachment of the gingiva to the tooth structure, or to the bone I should say. Now in the other case, this gingival attachment has been shifted from this particular area to downwards, or downwards here should be mentioned as apically. So apical displacement of either the gingival attachment or coronal movement of the marginal gingiva can lead to the etiology or deepening of the gingival sulcus. Either any one of them can take place, or a combination, that means both of them can take place at a time. And in most of the conditions we see that both of them are occurring at the same time. Moving ahead, again a question, why does periodontitis occur? As I just told you, it's a bacterial infection, result of a chronic bacterial infection which is not just affecting your gums but also the other supporting structures of teeth like the PDL and the alveolar bone. These are the other structures which are being affected. Now periodontal disease ranges from simple gum inflammation to some serious and major damage to the soft tissues and bone. Okay, if I see a pocket, as I just told you what pocket is. Now pocket can be of different types, either a gingival pocket, a suprabony pocket, or a infrabony pocket. Now suprabony is above the bone and infrabony is below the bone. So as you can see in the figure itself, that what is above the bone and below the bone. So here this is the suprabony and infrabony. Also notice this, that the bony inflammation, the alveolar bone recession, I should say, here it is occurring horizontally, whereas in case of infrabony it is happening vertically. So also this thing is very important to be noticed in suprabony and infrabony. Moving to the classification of periodontal pockets, according to the involved tooth surface, either it can be a simple pocket, that means this is a probe, you directly impinge it into the pocket and it's done. Fine, this is a simple pocket. Other than that, you have a compound pocket. Compound pocket is when not just one particular surface, but both the surface are being involved. Like this is the buccal surface and this is your proximal surface. Now here in this condition, you see both the surfaces are being involved. Two surfaces are involved in the pocket. So this is said to be a compound pocket. What is a complex or a spiral pocket? Originating from one surface, it has originated from the proximal surface and it is moving towards the buccal end, and this is said to be a spiral, originating from one surface and twisting and reaching to the other surface. This is the spiral pocket. Another classification is based on the nature of the soft tissue wall. Either it can be edematous if it has any kind of edema inside it. If it is fibrotic or fibrous, then it will be a fibrotic pocket. Depending upon the disease activity, either it is active or inactive, very easy to characterize or very easily it can be appreciated. If it is an active pocket, always there will be pus oozing out. Even if you will put a probe or even if you will put the index finger on the affected area, the pus will start oozing out. That is the characteristic or a key feature to determine an active pocket. That means still the inflammation is going inside that pocket. Inactive pocket is that no more inflammation is going on and now the pocket is dormant. Coming to the symptoms of periodontitis, bad breath, of course, halitosis will be seen, red and swollen gums, tender bleeding and gums, chewing painful हो जाती है, loose teeth, sensitive teeth, receding gums or longer appearing teeth. So mobility is also a thing which is not mentioned here, which is seen. So tooth mobility, sensitive, receding gums, loose teeth, yeah, it's here, loose teeth, everything can occur. These are the symptoms of periodontitis. Periodontal pocket probing, very important. When you probe, you have two different type of depth to be seen in probing. One is your biological depth, which is actually the distance between the gingival margin and the base of the pocket epithelium. So generally if you see, this is the natural or I say the biological probing depth. But what will happen in the clinics when we try to do probing, you know, the force we are supposed to apply while probing on the probe is about 0.75 Newton, which is around 25 grams. But we do not have any weighing machine and we do not know that how much force we are applying. So no matter how much we control our hands, a little more force is applied and this pointed probe can penetrate through the gingival epithelium or the gingival margin and it can just give you a wrong reading of the pocket. So this is said to be a clinical pocket. It is a distance from the gingival margin to the probing penetration, whereas the biologic or the natural pocket is the distance between the gingival margin and the base of the pocket. So if you see, this is what a probe looks like. This is an instrument used to measure any type of pocket. So you see there are different kind of numbering here, 1, 2, 3. So till 3, it's the natural probing depth which we all have. So this is not a pocket. We do not say it a pocket if it is still 3 mm penetration. But if the penetration is more than 3, whether it is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, then it is going to be a pocket. Coming to the treatment of periodontitis, what is the general treatment we suggest to patients? Deep cleaning. If it is not that severe case, we do the root cleaning and the coronal planing, and the root planing is done. Another thing is medication. We give antibiotics to the patient. Surgical treatment, in which we usually do the flap surgery. I'll make sure I'll soon make another video just on the treatment.